Welcome, viewers and listeners, to another edition of CHP Talks. I'm here this week with Katie Pasitney from Edgewood, BC. Katie, thanks for joining us today.
Hi, thanks for having me. Very much. I appreciate your time to cover this.
So, Katie Pasitney is the daughter of Karen Esperson, who is the owner of Universal Ostrich Farms in Edgewood, BC. Since December, they have been engaged in a battle to prevent the culling and slaughtering of their 400 ostriches by the CFIA, the Canadian Food Inspection Agency. Katie is the spokesperson for Universal Ostrich Farms. She's been run off her feet this week as supporters of the farm and of the ostriches have converged on their farm in Edgewood to offer encouragement to the family farm and peaceful resistance to the threatened slaughter of the now 399 birds. So, again, Katie, thank you so much for taking the time out of your hectic schedule right now to be with us and to share with our viewers and listeners your struggle there in Edgewood.
Thank you. The awareness and education and just learning about this is so important. So again, every opportunity means the world.
Sure. Well, thank you. And the last few years, well, since the COVID thing, I think a lot of Canadians have become aware of government overreach in many areas and intrusion into not only businesses, but health issues of health and so on. And it's shocking, you did have a couple of birds that died of avian flu, but how long ago was that the bird died?
Yeah, so we actually had quite a few. It was 69 in total ended up dying.
Okay.
Yeah, but a really fast backstory, which is quite important. We had the same symptoms back in 2020. And in 2020, we called our vet and he did a gold standard tissue sample. That tissue sample came back positive for Pseudomonas bacteria. We lost 10 birds then, and then everybody was okay. We had the same symptoms here in December, so we weren't too alarmed. We thought, okay, we are pretty sure we know what it is, and we started treating them, cleaning up, putting them in kind of their own quarantine, and we had deaths, but we also had a bunch of those ostriches were recovering, so they weren't dying.
All right.
However, more than half of our farm has still never had a symptom and no deaths over on that side. Now, that would make sense because in 2020, we looked at our egg yolk. We had some old frozen egg yolk and did some studies on it. And those ostriches in their egg yolk, it comes back positive for H5N1 antibodies.
Okay.
So it shows that in 2020 that we probably had prior exposure. But again, it just gives you that information that you don't kill the survivors. Herd immunity and natural immunity is a real thing.
Yeah, well, we certainly saw a war against herd immunity during the COVID time in Canada. That was the
Yeah.
concept of herd immunity was basically rejected by those who wanted to impose the mRNA vax on everybody. So,
Yeah.
so you haven't lost a bird since when? When was the last?
January 14th. We're 126 days, I think. Absolutely big, beautiful, prehistoric, natural immunity, happy ostriches that are flightless and they're going nowhere. And they're doing well, but our migratory birds are still flying around the world with avian influenza.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe a mistake on the part of CFIA to think that they can eliminate avian flu, just like the federal government was trying to eliminate COVID, rather than accepting the fact that we might have to live with the residual impacts of that. So you believe, and first of all, go back. Let's go back. Your herd of
Yeah.
birds has been kept in the last number of years has been strictly for research purposes, not for not for meat. How far back does your research element go in your farm?
It goes back as the beginning of COVID-19.
Okay.
So COVID-19, when all the processing facilities and stuff all shut down, we deviated. We put our focus on trying to help animal and human health because it was a very, very concerning time for everybody. And we fell in love with just this gentleman out of Tsukumoto. His name is Tsukumoto, Dr. Tsukumoto out of Kyoto, Japan. Fell in love with his passion for his animals that he and his patents. He holds 36 plus worldwide patents regarding ostrich and their antibodies. He has prior material and prior research that doesn't have anything to do with our farm. But what we were very interested in was the very natural production of natural antibodies that could be used to create, new innovative ideas and ways going forward to treat animal and humans in viral cases and with disease in the future. And it's been a really beautiful journey, honestly. But I think it's led us into some trouble because that puts us at odds with people like Big Pharma.
Okay. Yeah, well, big pharma, they they will crush anyone that they can. We hope they never are
Yeah,
able to crush you, but their concept is that they want everything to be through the unnatural chemical compounds they can produce, including
yeah,
mRNA, which of course does have, as you know, in the COVID time, it has been shown to have even DNA in it, fragments of
yeah.
DNA. Um, so, so this was a surprise to you. How long have you been in the ostrich business yourself? How long have you been involved with ostriches?
Well, I've been my so 35 years. So as long as we've been in it, I'm older than 35. But I grew up with those big guys out there, and they grew up with me. We
Yeah,
have decades of animals out there that we would never be able to replace, and they all have personalities. They're about a 300-pound animal that is flightless. They have names, and it's taken a lot of years to gain that trust with these animals too. Just being hands-on with them. My mom is a very much beautiful pioneer in the industry.
very, very nice. So, have you been in Edgewood all that time, the 35 years?
I've been here 30.
Okay, so you started with the ostriches somewhere else, and then you moved to Edgewood.
Yeah.
How long do ostriches live? What's their lifespan?
They can live up to 70 years old,
Well,
but for say in their domestic situation of being like living here, it's like about 50 or 60.
okay, well,
Yeah.
that's a long living bird. So,
Yeah, it is.
yeah, um, it just seems to me that well, obviously there'd be an emotional pain for you as far as
Oh,
the
yeah.
financial pain for
Yeah.
losing the birds. But on top of that, it sounds like with your research into immunity and herd immunity and that type of thing, that it would be a real loss to science to have this herd exterminated.
It would be. There's a lot of chatter on the internet. The bigger the war gets, and or the battle that gets of just trying to fight for their lives. There's lots of misinformation and inaccurate work topics out there just about the research that we're doing, right? There's just different stories. But this research is natural. It is a beautiful way of coming up with a natural solution for human and animal health. We're using something that you survive with, I survive with. If we didn't have natural immunity or our antibodies, we would be fully dependent on vaccinations.
Right.
And we're harnessing that. So it would be a a massive loss to the possibilities that could happen on a global scale because of the crisis that we're in with avian influenza.
Yeah. Now, are you it appears to me that what I'm hearing from your farm and from the people who are representing or, taking up your cause, that the ostriches have a unique contribution in the terms of immunology, like different than other birds, for instance. There's something special about ostriches that they have a capacity to develop herd immunity, maybe more than some other animals.
Yeah, they're a very robust, strong animal. That's how they've lived on the planet for millions of years. I think the latest Truthio fossil was like 20 or 30 million years ago found. They actually have a little claw on their wings,
Okay.
just showing their evolution. But yeah, they can add to their adaptability to be able to create the robust antibodies that they do. We do have science proven that we have been able to, with our ostrich antibodies and COVID-19, we are even able to neutralize the COVID variants,
Wow.
not block it, which a lot of people can do. We were able to neutralize it. And that's a very big one. Our ostriches, I mean, their environmental challenges that these immune systems have seen, and what they've adapted and what they've conquered in their immune system, that again would be a loss. We'll never replace that to see, but their one ostrich egg is actually equivalent. One ostrich egg worth of antibodies is equivalent to 100 chicken eggs worth of antibodies.
Okay. Um, and so it was last Tuesday, just about a week ago, that the federal court ruled against you. Is that right? Yeah. And is there a possibility of appealing that decision?
Yeah, we are going down every avenue that we can, and lots of people are working on it.
Mhm.
Definitely leaving no stone unturned. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And a number of people have descended on your farm, come to show their support, and about how many people who don't normally live in Edgewood are at your place now.
Yeah, we've had over the weekend, we had probably just over 200 people here.
Well, well,
We've had a little bit of a recycling of people now today because the long weekend is ending. And as people are going, more people are coming.
well,
So I can see the numbers just growing again. And I think we're seeing that though, is there's a steady flow of people just wanting to see these big, beautiful, healthy prehistoric animals that are on the chopping block for their life.
yeah, yeah. No, it's amazing. Um, and um, I just read in the course of reading about what you're going through on your farm that the CFIA has already culled 8.7 million birds in BC. That would be chickens, turkeys, and so on, for avian flu. That's an awful lot of birds to go in a landfill somewhere instead of on somebody's kitchen plate, right? It seems like, I mean, I don't understand all the science of that, but it just seems like such a waste just to
Yeah.
destroy birds. So
It is especially when you have the opportunity at Universal Ostrich because we're offering the natural solution of using antibodies to fog commercial poultry barns and just to give these chickens natural antibodies, to try to encourage a stabilization in the crisis. That's it.
yeah,
There's a big disconnect down the middle, and the Organization of Canadian Food Inspection Agency with wildlife, they're not talking. I mean, as long as there's migratory birds, nowhere in the world will be avian influenza free. So how do we work with it
yeah,
and not put our food security at risk? And we're losing farmers because they're tired. They don't want to get culled and repopulate anymore. So our farmers are backing out, and that we need to protect them, and we need to keep our heroes heroes. Like in COVID-19, our truckers and the convoy and our frontline workers, they got very quickly, they were the heroes and then they became villainized. And and that should have never happened. They are heroes.
Yeah.
And we need to see our agricultural leaders and our experts, which are our farmers, that have dedicated their lives to putting nutritional food on our plates and continue to. We need to keep them our heroes.
Yeah, absolutely. And this whole thing about migratory birds and avian flu, like obviously we love migratory birds. We love all
Yeah.
kinds of
Yeah.
birds and wildlife, and we look forward to them returning in the spring. And as you mentioned, it is a possibility that they pick up that avian flu somewhere and carry it to a new location. And yet, these bird populations have withstood various assaults over the years. I'm sure that this isn't the first
Yeah.
time there's been an epidemic of some sort, and we certainly need to learn how to live with it and overcome it. We can't go there. I've even heard people talk about, eliminating the wild bird populations. That would be just such a tragic loss if we didn't.
Yeah, it's not even feasible. Like we have herd immunity, and immunity has been just lasted for centuries. It's what it is. And again, that's why we're all here. I think some people just need to really understand the concept of the healing capabilities of our own bodies, and by pumping up our own antibodies and taking care of ourselves, and then we are not reliant on vaccinations. We're not reliant on all the other things and the marketing tools that they're pushing on us.
Yeah.
We have such an opportunity here for Canada and the world, and not even just on this basis, but for an economic opportunity to create the extraction facilities from the egg yolk and just take those antibodies out and go put them into a nutraceutical, a healthy way, like a nasal spray or something for humans, and then work with wildlife. So Canadian Food Inspection Agency is still threatening us 6 months in jail and a $200,000 fine should we test our own animals to prove to the bone public that they are absolutely healthy and okay. Again, COVID-19, H5N1, these things, they need to work through the body. I know that there was a lot of losses. Um, I don't under, I don't, yeah, there was a lot of losses. I'm not going to say that no one's ever going to die from H5N1. We have immune compromised. We have people who are in the, the getting older. There's people that are suffering from autoimmune disorders, all that. They might be hospitalized, but people are hospitalized every day from the common flu.
Yeah.
And we have to dispel the myth of the fear mongering then that will put us into another pandemic, and we need to protect our citizens.
Exactly. Well, Katie, what do our viewers and listeners need to hear from you before we close
Yeah.
today? Thank you again for the time. You've been very generous with your time.
No, thank you. We do. We have an SOS at Universal Ostrich Farm. Please visit us at 301 Langill Road, Langille Road. Come and support us. Come support this peaceful, beautiful, kind protest of standing up for protection for these animals and all the other ones across the world. We have food, we have a fire. There's some bouncy castles for kids.
Okay.
There is a beautiful river here to come and just take a break away from the city. We offer some, take pictures. No, you can't get close to the fence, but like you can't touch them and that, but take pictures of these big, beautiful birds. You can also go to saveourostriches.com, and that will give you space to be able to go and look at other interviews and also donate to us if you have the time or if you have that ability. If not, that it goes towards our legal fees and our legal battle, which unfortunately money is always ammunition in this kind of thing. And we're asking for prayer. Please pray for our farm. Please pray for strength and for our family to keep going. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
Please pray and share.
Yeah.
Please pray and share.
Thank you so much. And I know that Lloyd Manchester from Kelowna has written a couple of great letters that I'm going to try to put in the access to them in the show notes as well, because he's inviting people to send either that letter or something like it to the Premier, the Leader of the Opposition in BC, a federal Prime Minister, people who should be stepping in and defending.
Our Premier Eby actually went on, he's spoken out in support, saying he's frustrated that the Canadian Food Inspection Agency will not work with us like on a basis, like a case by case basis.
Okay, all right.
And we have our MP, Scott Anderson. We have our MLAs that independents, Dallas and Tara and Jordan Keeley from the Northern Peace. We have a lot of support,
Yeah,
and this should be recognized. It should be recognized.
wonderful. And we saw also the note that the local regional district would not allow the carcasses to be disposed of in their
Great.
facility without testing.
Yeah.
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 So that's a positive step.
That was a positive, but they still could go to the other landfills and stuff. But you know what? I just hope it's a very positive precedent
Yeah.
that we're stepping, our feet are going in the right direction, our hearts are going in the right direction, and everybody wants to start to see something good happen here in Canada, and we could do it. We could start something really amazing here.
We're grateful to people who step forward and put their reputations on the line to defend the truth and the right solutions to our problems. So God bless you. Thank you for standing against the tide here, against the encroachment of unjust government dictates. And
Thank you.
may God give you victory and success, and enjoy the journey, even though it's hectic. I know it is hectic. So thank you again for taking the time to be with us today.
Thank you, Rod, very much, and all your audience. We love you, and please keep the prayers coming in.
God bless you. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.